next story takes us to a uniquely quiet town in America where the government's search for the mysteries of deep space is in full swing. People there can't use cell phones or Wi-Fi because it might interfere with equipment conducting the scientific research. Now a Russian businessman is bankrolling part of the search for aliens from this sensitive no Wi-Fi zone. And Full Measure's Joce Sterman says some scientists think he's saving the day.
In the digital age, we live on an electronic leash, and sometimes we dream of a life not on a tether. You'll find it in this town of less than 200 people. Greenbank, West Virginia is the kind of place where chickens roam free. Country songs spill from the lone AM station, and the sound of crickets is drowned out only by a passing car on a country road. It's not the shelter of these mountain hills that shields Greenbank from the intrusions of technology. It is the demands of the technology itself.
Their life does not revolve around that technology, that cell phone.
Life for Sheriff David Jones and the rest of Greenbank revolves around a monstrosity in white you can see for miles. A 17 million pound telescope installed 15 years ago. It is the crown jewel of the National Radio Astronomy Observatory, built in this town in 1956. The observatory, specifically its Greenbank telescope, the GBT, is king, dictating life since its installation back in 2000. It is the largest steerable radio telescope in the world, listening for faint radio waves in deep space. The truth is out there, but the telescope has a few demands of its own.
They knock on the door and say, "You're bothering our scope."
And by bother, we mean breaking the universal rule of Greenbank. No one interferes with the GBT. It sits near the heart of the United States National Radio Quiet Zone, 13,000 square miles in 3 states where transmissions are limited. In Greenbank, though, the rules are even stronger. So much that people here can't use cell phones, Wi-Fi, not even a microwave oven. And finding someone requires dialing back the clock to 1980.
Signals are sent directly up here to these computers.
This technology is so advanced, it picks up signals so weak, they're in scientific terms we don't even understand.
What's it mean to me?
For a layman, that would be equivalent to detecting the energy given off by a single snowflake hitting the ground.
The future of the telescope is as much a mystery as the universe it explores. The National Science Foundation has funded this facility and its $12 to $14 million annual budget since its inception. In 2012, it announced it was divesting, cutting back money starting in 2017.
We absolutely worry about the future of the GBT all the time.
Karen O'Neill is the director of this facility. She's an astrophysicist who understands the theory of relativity between science and budget.
It's not really that the National Science Foundation wants to shut us down. They don't wish to shut us down. Is that the National Science Foundation has a budget that's only so big, and within that budget they've got to figure out how to make the scientists around the country as happy as possible and to be able to pursue new ideas at the same time that they're trying to keep old ones there.
The lifeline for the telescope may come from an unlikely source, one that would not have been possible during the Cold War. But funding gaps create fast friendships.
There are about 200 billion galaxies.
Yuri Milner, a Russian billionaire, is pumping cash into this facility, $10 million alone on a recent equipment upgrade. His project, Breakthrough Initiatives, is committed to using 20% of the GBT's time for the next decade. The project setting its sights on the search for life beyond the stars.
I can report today that a few days ago we did our first observation and did not find anything, but we...
Now the idea is to embrace the world of pay-as-you-go science, soliciting partners to keep the GBT scanning the skies for decades to come.
You know, the space race, people looked at the Russians as the enemy, and now they're the savior of a facility like this.
Yeah, it is a funny world out there. You know, if you look back in the 1950s, back when this organization came into being, we were racing with the Soviet Union. We were trying to get there first. So I think we're in a wonderful new era where instead of racing up against other countries and organizations to try to get there first, it seems like people are just cooperating to try to get the best possible science out of what we have.
In Greenbank, West Virginia, I'm Joce Sterman for Full Measure.
By the way, the U.S. didn't publicly express any security concerns over allowing a foreign entrepreneur to, in essence, rent telescope time in the middle of a zone where sensitive government research is underway. And we'll be right back with a look at next week's program.